Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the Stinger. Can you hit it? Should you hit it? And when do you hit it? When Mr. Woods came onto the scene, he made us all absolutely astonished at his ability at shot making, the ability to control the golf ball. And one of the most impressive shots that he's been playing over his career is he's called the Stinger, which is a ball that never seems to hardly leave the ground but just goes forever. Obviously a great shot to hit out of a tight area where you're trying to keep the ball low under a tree branch or something similar, but also a great shot if you're playing in windy conditions. Playing this shot is pretty easy as long as you're able to control and hit your long irons. I wouldn't necessarily say it's very easy to play with a hybrid shot. You can do it, but the center of gravity is lower on a hybrid, so it'll tend to pop the ball up a little earlier, and it's all about this low launch angle. I personally like to use a 4-iron when I'm playing the shot. My 4-iron's got 24 degrees on it, and it will usually kind of launch the ball at around about 12 degrees, 13 degrees. I'm looking to launch the ball at around about 6 or 7 degrees when I'm hitting a Stinger. This is going to give me a lower spin rate, a flatter ball, a flatter landing angle, and then finally more roll. So it's a great shot to hit, especially around kind of seaside links golf courses, or when you've got a golf course where that's letting the golf ball roll. If you're looking at hitting a Stinger or hitting just a simple normal 4-iron, and you're playing on a parkland course where the ball's going to stop when it lands, then you're far better off playing the normal 4-iron. And if that doesn't get you there, then take the 3. So what should you be looking at? Well, the very first thing is in your address position. You want to be changing the position of the ball in your stance. Normally I'd be playing the 4-iron up just inside my lead heel. With the Stinger shot, I'm actually going to be playing it from more the center of my stance, or actually maybe a ball's width behind the center of my stance. And by keeping my hands in the same position as they normally would be, that you can see is de-lofting the club already. It's also one of the reasons why I like the 4-iron rather than the 3 or a 2-iron on this, because it makes me think I've got at least a little bit of loft on the golf club. The next thing is I like to kind of get my weight around about 70% into my lead side. Again, this will actually change the axis of my swing, moving it slightly again towards the target, and creating a even less dynamic loft on the club head in impact. When I'm swinging the golf clubs, there's a few feeling changes, I think, more than actual practical changes. A little like a punch shot. I don't want too much wrist action in the backswing, and I have the feeling of basically taking it back around about to a 3/4 swing. So I'm not swinging back as far, and I'm probably going to lose 1 or 2 miles an hour of club head speed because of that. At the same time, when I come through the golf ball, I'm going to shorten my follow through, because when I do that again, I'm really kind of making sure I'm getting into the position through the ball, getting that lag on the club, and creating this kind of low dynamic loft. One of the contentious things that Tiger says about his Stinger is he feels loose-wristed and soft lower arms. This is great for Tiger, and if you're a good golfer, because what he's doing is he's creating so much rotational speed. He's got so much freedom of movement in his body. He's keeping the acceleration on his hands really right into and shortly after impact. And then the actual acceleration of the hands is enough to basically create the lag tension on the club head. If you aren't quite as mobile as Tiger Woods, or able to create as much rotational speed as Tiger Woods, then most certainly you're probably going to have to grip the thing a bit tighter and hold it onto it through impact in order to keep the loft off the golf club in impact. But try both ways. If you can do it with more softer hands and softer lower arms, then you can create an even flatter ball flight. And the final thing is just commit to your swing. Unfortunately, the visualization of the shot, staying over the ball, getting your hands ahead, often leads people to start sliding into the golf ball. And obviously that's going to just cause you to hit a terrible golf shot, irrespective of what club you've got in the hand or what shot type you're trying to do. So it's all about basically doing the same thing. So I'll do the same kind of drills that I do from all of my shot to give me that kind of feeling. Then when I go up to the stinger, I just get it back in my stance, hands forward, weight a little forward, keep it nice and loose, and then sting it out there. And that's a gorgeous little looking golf shot. I must admit that I quite like messing around like this. I used to do it a lot as a young man on the driving range, just trying to control the golf ball. And although we never called it a stinger, we were often thinking of, better ways to get out from under the trees because we spent so much time in them. So if I look at TrackMan there, I've got a launch angle of 6.7, a spin of 2,700. Club head speed there is 85 miles an hour, which is down a little bit of my normal club head speed, and I've hit the ball 185 meters, but it's only spent 145 in the air. So it's obviously not a good shot if you're going to be out there on a wet Parkland golf course. If I were to just hit a normal 4-iron now, just to give you some kind of idea of how that would look. Now that, I don't know if the cameras have picked it up, is the totally different ball flight. Club head speed's gone up to almost 90 miles an hour. I've got a launch of 12 degrees. I've got 3,600 spin on it, and it's carrying 170 meters and rolling out to 190. So that's a different kind of ball flight. Try it again. And that's gone even higher. Again, I don't know if you're actually picking this up on the camera. Launch angle is actually 13 on that, at almost 4,000 spin on it, but it's carrying 174 and it's rolled out to 188. Let's take the stinger. .2 launch, 85 miles an hour, 155 carry and 185 complete. That really wasn't either or either. It's gone out somewhere in between them. Wanted to give you a nice low one to finish off. Launched it at 9. Fortunately, golf's just not a perfect science. There we are. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Little bell will give you notifications the next time I publish a video. We'll see you all very shortly. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.